Let's go outside, the snow is falling down and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me with a smile as quirky as...
This is going to be all the tips that I have to you as an autistic person to an autistic person to get through this Christmas period. Earlier in Vlogmas I did a video going through tips for people who have autistic people in their life for Christmas. This video is going to be for the autistic people. Like I said, I am autistic as well, so that's where I get my credentials from. I also did a psychology degree, so I do know something about autism. And this video is going to be full of tips that we can try and do to make Christmas easier for us. So there's definitely going to be an overlap with the video that I did earlier in Vlogmas for the family members, friends, whatever. So if you've watched that, you might hear some of the same tips, but this is going to be on a different perspective, so it'll probably be phrased a little bit differently. First, the disclaimer. Please remember, we are all on a spectrum. We all experience things differently. I'm just doing very broad autism tips for the things that the majority of us go through in order to get our diagnosis and the way that our brains work. But if these don't apply to you, don't do them. Take what you need. Whilst we're on the topic of all of us being on a spectrum, please remember, if you feel like you're struggling more than other autistic people, that's fine. You're allowed to struggle. Some of us struggle with other things. Some of us find Christmas harder than others. That is completely a-okay. You do whatever you have to do to make it through this period. And the other way around as well. If you see other autistic people struggling more than you at Christmas, you're still valid. You still have autism. That's fine. You don't have to struggle at Christmas to be autistic. That's not in the DSM-5. Please still feel valid within your autism. But also remember that if you have autistic friends, they might be struggling more than you, so just check in with them. Right, let's get onto our tips, shall we? First one, stop comparing yourself to neurotypical people. There ain't no point. We have different energy levels to them. We see things in a different way. Our brain is literally different from all those neurotypical people that you see in the movies, or see in books, or see out enjoying themselves on Instagram. We aren't like them. Stop comparing yourself to it. It's like that saying, what is it? Comparison is the thief of joy, is that it? Stop comparing yourself. Enjoy what you can. Don't look at everybody else and be like, why can't I be like that? Yeah, it sucks. It sucks we can't do everything that we want to do. But don't set yourself up to think that you can do everything and then be disappointed when it's really, really hard. Obviously, I'm not saying don't make plans. Make plans, but just be realistic with yourself. Don't be like, yep, I'm gonna do everything every single day. We need rest. And some events just aren't gonna work for our brains. But just don't compare yourself to those people. Your brain is literally different. And I know that's easier said than done, but here's just me being your little reminder, being your little voice. Hear me in your head. As soon as you're on social media and seeing everybody doing all of the plans and you start going, oh, I wish I could do this. Listen to me. Pack it in. You are fine. Spread the events out. Do what you want. If you don't get them done this year, that's fine. Do them next year. The majority of Christmas events go on until after Christmas as well. So if you really, really want to, do it after Christmas. It's okay. You're fine. You're okay. Next up, don't celebrate if you don't want to. If you are not a Christmas kind of gal, and I mean that in a gentlest way, don't celebrate it. It's fine. And also, fuck the people who make you feel bad about it. That's a reflection of them. And just know if you can't cut them out or if you can't ignore them, like if they're family, they're in the wrong, not you. Not everyone has to celebrate Christmas. They don't have to see it as a big deal. They don't have to enjoy it. If you're one of those people, ignore those people who are being twats about it. They're the ones who are in the wrong. We need to accept everyone for whatever they want to do as long as they're not hurting people. Don't make any plans if you don't want to do them. And if you want to hang out with those people, do what you can. You don't have to force yourself to do specific parts that they want to do. Spend time with the people that you love, and I'm sure they'll understand if you don't want to celebrate Christmas or if you want to stick to quieter events compared to like the busy ass Christmas markets. Or Winter Wonderland. I've just seen a TikTok about the queues for Winter Wonderland. If you live down there and you don't want to go to that, completely fair enough. I think even neurotypical people would completely understand that. And if you do want to be busy, like me, I do like Christmas and I like to be busy. December is the busiest month of the year for me. Remember to plan and rest. I know it's easy. I know it can be easier said than done if you work. I'm really struggling to plan and rest for this month, but it's so important. I've been like working like full blown and had a lot of plans for maybe like a coming up to 2 weeks now, and I'm already starting to feel it. It's not worth putting us in burnout just for Christmas events. Even if it's just missing just one Christmas event, take that time to rest. You need the time to rest. Burnout for us is different. It's going to take us months to get out of it. Don't put yourself into burnout. Don't put yourself into burnout. Don't do it. Make sure there's rest in there somewhere. Next tip was in the family video. Shared calendar. Do it. Use any app you can. I use Google Calendar and just share it with Jack. The more people you share it with that you have plans with, the better. And if you can't share it with them, put it in your own calendar. Make sure if you have a lot of plans to write it down somewhere, to be clear on what they are with the people that you're doing it with. You know the timings, you know where you're going, they know what's happening so they can't get it wrong last minute, which is why the shared calendar is like better. And it means you can mentally prepare yourself. I mentally prepare myself for my calendar. That's exactly what it's there for. Obviously I have ADHD too, so I do forget things, but the main thing is so that I can psych myself up for the things and try to remember them. And for those plans, make sure you are in comfortable clothes. I've said it before. I said it in that video. The thing that will push me into a meltdown the most is being hot. Combine that with being uncomfortable in my clothes, it's gonna send me into a meltdown. And I think that's the same for a lot of us. Make sure you are comfy in your clothes and make sure it's comfy for you as well. Don't think what looks comfy or what do people think is comfy. Make sure it's right for you. I had this at Beamish. If you aren't subscribed, we went to Beamish, which is an outdoor open air museum. Beautiful. It was a beautiful day. I absolutely adored it. I'll leave the video link above. But I literally had about 4 or 5 people be like, are you not freezing? Jack, my family, I think Ellie probably said it. And yeah, from the look of me, you probably would be like, she's gonna be absolutely freezing. But I know I run hot. I know I run hot, especially if you're walking around. I know that if I went looking warm, I would have had a meltdown. So even if it looks funky, wear what's right for how you know your body will be. Next up, don't feel bad about taking breaks. Don't feel bad about it. If you don't take a break, you could be absolutely miserable the rest of the day. If you can take like I don't know, like the half-an-hour break and then last longer for the rest of the day, that's gonna be better for everyone. And don't feel guilty about it. Like I say, your brain is different. You have a disability. If somebody tells you as a disabled person you're not allowed to take a break or makes you feel guilty for taking a break, they need to take a look at themselves. Talking to a disabled person like that, get out. But make sure in those breaks, you don't feel pressure to be doing certain stuff. Do whatever it is that makes you feel better. For me, it's being comfortable, sitting down and being on TikTok or listening to music. I feel so much better after a little break. So do it. And don't let anyone guilt trip you into making you feel bad. If they do, send them my way. Next up, reframe Christmas as the month, not the day. This has been one that's really, really helped me. I don't have the best relationship with Christmas Day, just due to like family dynamics, all that kind of crap. Before I started doing vlogmas, I didn't put many plans in for December. So for me, it used to feel like, oh, it's really cozy, it's really cute. I used to like be like, oh, Christmas is coming, it's great. And then I would always be disappointed on the day. I'd always be like, and the day would just feel so like, Don't get me wrong, I've had some good Christmases, but you get what I mean? Like it just always feels a little bit like, and then there's just so much pressure on that one day or 3 days if you include Christmas Eve and Boxing Day. But ever since I've started doing Vlogmas, and I do way more in December, and for the last like year or two, I've really been like, Christmas is December. Like Christmas is not just Christmas Day, it's December. That's so much more fun for me. Like I love that. It means there's always something to look forward to with the different events. It means that I don't have to put all of my excitement in for Christmas Day to feel disappointed at that. It means that I can space out seeing people. I don't have to worry about seeing everybody on this one day. And it just makes me happier. I just feel so much better when it's a full month of the cute lights and people being happier and jolly and stuff like that. It really, really helped me, so give it a go. Speaking of cozy lights and stuff, do whatever you want with the decor. Where you live is up to you. Obviously, if you live with people or live with your family, it's not as simple, but if you do live in your own place, do whatever. Oh my god. It literally went right in my eye. It's your home. Do whatever you want. If you don't want to move about the furniture because it makes you feel weird, Don't move about the furniture. Don't put a tray up. Or put a tray up wherever you feel like you want it to be. If your safe space is your home and you don't like your home moving about, that's fine, don't move it about. If you want it to be up earlier because the month, or I don't know, some people do like 2 weeks. If the 2 weeks is just too much, put it up earlier. I've been putting mine up earlier and earlier because one, it does bring me joy. Like this tree in this room, I freaking adore it. I love having the Christmas decorations up. If that's something that brings me joy, why wouldn't I want to put it up earlier? I'm not letting people make me feel guilty for putting up my tree at the end of November. No. And if it means as well, if you have it up earlier, you feel like less all over the place because it's like a new thing in your safe space, do that. Do whatever makes you feel good. Similarly, don't force yourself to do events that you actually don't want to do. I feel like there are events like that at Christmas where there are just some way like, I don't understand why people want to do that. For me, Winter Wonderland. No, I do love Christmas markets, but Winter Wonderland just looks a bit intense. I don't have a thing against Winter Wonderland. But say if you really, really don't like going to the Christmas markets, don't force yourself to go to them. I know that can be hard, especially if you have people in your life who really want to go to them with you, but they can be so stressful, and if you have a meltdown in like the Christmas markets, it can be just so distressing for you. So I would really say try and enforce a boundary where you don't go to events that you actually don't want to go to, and have a think about them, because I think sometimes it's very easy to be like, yeah, I want to go to that, but then really deep down you don't. So have a real think about whether you do actually want to go to those events, and don't do them if you don't. Next, if you are in a situation and it isn't going to plan, try and use the people around you to help you out of it. And I do mean that in a way of like to help you out of it, get out of there, you're gone, but also to try and ground yourself a little bit. You'll know yourself way better than me. If you have ways that you know can help you out of a meltdown, try and get the people around you to know them before the event or at the event, whatever you want to do, and use those people. You have those people around you for a reason. I'm sure they're lovely, lovely people. So if they're family, then maybe not. But if you have people who are really, really lovely, get them to help you. Like I've said many times in this video, you are disabled. You're allowed to ask for help of the people around you. Get them to help you to focus on the things that are good for you in that situation and to draw yourself away from the stuff that's stressing you out. Get them to, I don't know, bring some spare earplugs, so if you're struggling, they can give you some earplugs if you can't get to your own, like that kind of thing. And then if it's really not going well, get them to get you out. It can be really, really hard if you're in like a Christmas, I'm going to use the Christmas markets again. If you're in like a Christmas market and you start having a meltdown and you're like, right, I need out of this situation right now. When you're in that mind space, it can be very, very hard to have an exit plan and to figure out how you're going to get out when there's people everywhere. So use the people that you're with. And I don't just mean neurotypical people. Obviously, I'm sure people have disabled friends as well, but if they're not in a meltdown situation, they're going to be better than you at trying to figure out the situation. They probably want out as well, so escape together. This one's more for kind of like the actual day. If you have a Christmas where there's like travel involved, one tip I would say is try and prioritize the travel that makes you most comfortable. Because I was saying this in the other video, but travel for me is when I have my breaks. Like I'm in the car that I'm comfortable with and with the person I'm comfortable with. I have the music on that I'm comfortable with. That is my time to kind of like rest and decompress from the situations that I've been in and going into. But I would also say have a constant throughout all of them. So say if like, I don't know, you're at your parents in the morning, your grandparents for lunch, and then friends in the evening. If you're going to those different households, try and have something that's the same throughout it. So try and have comfortable clothes on throughout, as we've discussed. But then also have something that makes you feel good. So have a blanket or have a toy or a fidget or headphones with music. Have something throughout them that is your comfort thing that's gonna make those different places feel a little bit more safe for you and homely for you. The last one that I have is very overarching in everything, and that is prioritize your joy in every single plan you make. Autistic joy is beautiful. It is beautiful. The majority of us feel that emotion so heavily, and I want you to try and get that as much as you can in this time where it isn't designed for us. Obviously, I'm not saying ignore everybody else's wishes, but get it where you can. Be joyful where you can. If you love seeing Christmas lights, go and see Christmas lights as much as you can. If you are, I don't know, going ice skating and you're not bothered about ice skating, go see Christmas lights before it. Like, prioritize your joy wherever you can. You are worthy of having joy in the festive season just as much as everybody else. And it's harder for us, so make sure you get it. This world tends to treat us like crap if you can get some joy in at Christmas, even if it's just one day out of the whole of December, you deserve that. And people deserve to lift you up so that you can get that. So try and prioritize your joy. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say in all of the other Sit You Down Vlogmas videos, please leave comments with things that you believe on those videos. So with this one, if you have any tips for autistic people at Christmas, leave them below. Let's make this a resource centre for other autistic people. And if you have any tips for family, friends of people with autism, please leave it on the video that I did earlier in the month, so I can also make that one a little resource centre. And if you did find it useful, please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. It really helps to grow my channel, as it makes YouTube actually push my videos to other people. But even if you don't do any of that, thank you so much for watching, and I shall hopefully see you in another day of Vlogmas.